Good morning. Today we are going to work on how to draw 3D figures, specifically cylinders, cones, and spheres. The reason we are doing this is because the upcoming project is going to be a create your own piñata. And if you look over my shoulder, you can see my piñata pig that still needs to be painted and finished, but he has been watching our every move here in the kitchen since I created him several weeks ago. But he has been created by only using cylinders, cones, and spheres. So that's why we want to go over how to draw them, because one of your first assignments will be to make a sketch of your piñata that you want to create with dimensions. So let's get started. So we're going to be talking about specific 3D figures, and for our project, we want to make sure we include a cylinder, a cone, and a sphere. At least one of each. If you include more, you can notice my little pig back there. He has 2 cones that I used for his ears. But I used a cylinder for his nose, 2 cones for his ears, and a sphere for his head. Okay? You can create your piñata to look however you want. It can even be abstract. Okay, so let's get started with how to draw these 3D figures for your first assignment, which will be a sketch of what you're going to try to create. Let's start with the cylinder. To draw a cylinder, you need to start with an oval up here on top. And that's going to represent the top of the cylinder. And then we're going to draw 2 parallel lines coming from each side of that oval. And the bottom of our cylinder is going to have the exact same curve as the bottom of our oval up here on the top. And then to give it that 3D look, we're going to just use a dotted line and create that bottom circle for our cylinder. So you can see that we have a base, or 2 bases I should say, that are circles that create the cylinder. Now, the dimensions that you need to use for a cylinder are the height. So where we're headed with this project is we're going to be able to figure out the volume and the surface area of our piñata. How much space is inside for all of the candy that we could put in there, and then how much newspaper or paper that we would need to be able to cover the surface area. So to be able to do this, these dimensions that I'm listing today are the dimensions that you would need to be able to use for those formulas. So this cylinder, we would need to know the height, and we would also need to know the diameter. Now, just as a reminder, the diameter divided by 2 is also known as the radius. Some of the formulas will be using the radius, some will be using the diameter, but once you know one of them, you actually know the other one. So it's really not that big a deal. Okay, let's go to a cone. A cone is drawn very similarly. We're going to draw our oval and then our 2 lines to make it look like a cone. Now, there's several things here about a cone that you're going to need to know. First of all, because it has a base of a circle, we're going to have the diameter, which also could be a radius if that is what is given. The height of a cone is represented by this measurement or dimension right here. It would also be the height from the center of the base to the tip. Now, there is a different measurement when we're talking about a cone, and it's this one right here. This is the slant height. And in some of the formulas, we will need the slant height so that we can figure out the volume or the surface area. And last but not least, we have our sphere. Now, the sphere looks a whole lot like just a circle. But a circle is 2D. A sphere is 3D. So to make it look like a 3D figure, we're going to draw a solid line, curved line, like this. And then on the other side, we're going to draw a dotted line like this so we can kind of see the 3D-ness of this object. Now, a sphere is kind of special because, once again, it is a circle. So we have a diameter, which, if you needed to, you could find the radius as well. But I want you to notice this. If we were to draw the diameter going up and down, some of us might think that this is the height, and we would be correct. It is the height of the sphere, but it also is still the diameter. So there you have it. Our 3 3D figures that we are going to use when we create our piñata. So be looking ahead to our next assignment, which will be making a sketch of our piñata plan, complete with these 3D figures that we're going to use.